We've all heard the talk about Jalen Hurts last year. Going into the 2021 season, every expert swore up and down that he wasn't the one. He's played a sample size of 5 total games and showed flashes of a true franchise quarterback. However, they were still not impressed. They had numerous questions about his play on the field and his leadership abilities. So when week 1 finally happened, the whole world was glued to the TV. And I guess it's safe to say, he did not disappoint, in my humble opinion. This episode of In My Humble Opinion is presented by Unfiltered Media. And I also want to give a quick shout out to this video sponsor, K-Town Supply Company. It has a vast array of shirts, hoodies, and streetwear in order to keep you right. And who doesn't like repping their city? And by watching this video, you get a special offer from yours truly. If you go on K-Town Supply Company and type in UFM, you'll get 10% off your order. Once again, that is code UFM for 10% off any order you please. Oh yeah, and also another thing too. We got shirts, baby. So if you want to help the channel and help Unfiltered Media as a company, go cop these nice shirts and use our code for 10% off. Once again, that is code UFM for 10% off. Go shop with K-Town Supply Company. Jalen Hurts, a quarterback from Houston, Texas, a national champion at Alabama, and he transferred to Oklahoma and fully developed his game as he finished with 33 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. Fast forward to 2020, he was drafted in the second round by the Philadelphia Eagles, and many fans were outraged, including me admittedly. And honestly, looking back, he was put in an awkward situation because we just signed our previous quarterback, Carson Wentz, to a $120 million deal. So as soon as we got hurt, it ignited a quarterback battle. And fast forward to week 13 against Green Bay, Carson Wentz was having a horrendous game. And in comes Jalen Hurts, bringing in the much needed spark that we desired. A lot of folks don't realize how hopeless a lot of Philly fans were up to that point. I mean, we were already designated to have a losing season. Everybody on the team was injured. And Carson Wentz, he was having a terrible showing. He came in and added an extra punch that we all needed. And he even gave us something to look forward to every week now. So when next week came, a lot of Philly fans had something to itch about. In that game against the New Orleans Saints, he came in and showed out. Finishing 17 for 30, passing for 167 yards, but on the ground, he rushed for 106. He actually achieved a record with Miles Sanders as the first quarterback-running back duo in Eagles history to finish for 100. We even had Mike Vick. Now with Carson Wentz gone and it's a new season in 2021, he is fully taking on the reins of being the franchise quarterback. Now, a lot of experts had questions coming in. They didn't know if his accuracy was there, the ability to protect the ball is efficient, his awareness in the pocket. All these questions came in and it even trickled down to the rank. Most outlets such as Bleacher Report, ESPN, and some experts, they had him ranked as one of the bottom 5 quarterbacks in the entire league. I'm looking at cats like Daniel Jones and Ryan Fitzpatrick over him. So that's when I was just like, okay, y'all are overreacting way too much. Because look at the sample size of games that he showed with us. That Saints game, he showed great awareness running out the pocket, facing pressure. He was throwing very efficient passes right into our wide receiver's chest in order to move the ball forward. So he was doing his job. That Cardinals game, I personally feel like he had one of his best passing showings so far in his career. Throwing for 20 for 44, finishing with 338 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also rushed on the ground for 63 yards and a touchdown just for good measure. I was looking at multiple charts and I seen guys like Daniel Jones, Ryan Fitzpatrick, even Sam Darnold over her. If you want to use Sam Darnold's argument too, he was a product of bad coaching, then what was Jalen Hurts? He was brought into a whole system where all of his stars were hurt. He barely had much of an O-line to work with. And the play calling was so vanilla that opposing teams started to call out our plays before we even snapped. So I don't want to hear that excuse for Darnold as well. And Daniel Jones, you guys have the same concerns about Jalen Hurts and his ball security. What is Daniel Jones? Even week 1 and 2 against Denver and Washington, Daniel Jones was fumbling and turning the ball over like he was last year. So it's practically no difference in this game. Week 1, the Eagles faced off against the Atlanta Falcons, a game that was kind of glossed over by everyone. Ironically enough, we were labeled as 2 of the worst teams in the entire league, according to the preseason poll. And as the game started, Jalen Hurts started picking them apart. And what's so funny about the Atlanta game, all the experts picked Atlanta to beat us. Hurts finished the game throwing 27 for 35, finishing with 264 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's also impressive to me during that game that he was pressured a total of 9 times and he didn't fumble nor intercept the ball once. There was even one play where his touchdown throw to Jalen Reagor, the D tackle had his legs wrapped up as he was making the throw. Those types of plays are special, and those little things always get left off of the game when people look at the highlight. He also finished with a 126.4 passer rating, the highest passer rating we had since Nick Foles in the 2017 NFC Championship game against the Vikings. Now, that's been a long time. And one thing you also got to look out for the rest of the season, you got to watch people moving goalposts on Jalen Hurts, because I can already see it now. We go from he's one of the bottom 5 quarterbacks in the league to, oh, it's the Falcons. And as the season goes on, look for more and more people to find a reason to give Jalen Hurts the blame or to find a reason to not give him any credit. I feel like towards the end of the season, if we have a spectacular run, people are going to start blaming how easy the schedule is. It never fails. It's okay, cool. But I just like that the expectations are growing for my young QB, because before, y'all didn't think he was going to do a thing. Hurts has played extremely solid for these past few weeks. I take PFF with a grain of salt, but so far he is the second best graded quarterback in the entire NFL. What's so satisfying about everything is just how quiet everything has been lately. I was looking at my phone waiting for slander. I was hearing people on the national media say something. It was just absolutely quiet. The slander was so potent back then, the quietness now just made it uncomfortable. I just can't believe y'all cowered as soon as y'all realized Jalen Hurts was all that. You just gotta think about the excitement for the upcoming future of the Eagles. If we have a successful season this year, we have 3 first-round picks to work with for the next year. And looking at the draft now, we can easily retool at linebacker and corner. So it's just one of those things where you just can't feel nothing but optimism for this Eagles franchise. We went from a deflated old team last year to a solid core of young cats in order for Hurts to work with. And I don't know if you've been reading up the training camp stories, but there was one report to where Jalen Hurts took all the receivers on the side and made them recite the plays and go over drills and routes. Now that's his leadership. The main thing you could tell from the eye test is you could tell Jalen Hurts has poise. He doesn't get rattled in the pocket, and after every pressure, he knows to use his legs and roll out, and he knows to make the right plays at the right time. And I mean, think about it. Before the season started, I had cats tell me that Gardner Minshew was sharing snaps with Jalen Hurts. So don't sit here and act like that, oh, you're overreacting about Hurts. I'm not overreacting. That's you guys giving all those polls and everything in the beginning, thinking that he was a terrible QB. And I don't understand how you could rate somebody from just 5 games, especially when you look at the context. He had hurt players to work with. He had a ramshack O-line. He was literally put in a terrible situation and made light out of it. And look at Hurts as a person. He is a dedicated leader, passionate about the sport of football, and he just wants to see others win. And look at what he said during training camp. The rent's due, I'm just here to make payments. People got chips on their shoulders, but on mine, I carry boulders. You could tell that was somebody that was ready for the limelight and extremely ready to perform under pressure in order to show folks that he is who he is. And it just makes you wonder why he was getting all those questions to begin with. But people need to understand, Jalen Hurts is the one, and it's time for folks to wake up, in my humble opinion.